This next little vignette here is from Love Lost on What I Wore by the Efron Sisters. You may know them. They've written stories such as Silkwood and When Harry Met Sally. It won the 2010 Drama Desk Award for Unique Theater Experience and the Broadway.com Award for Favorite New Off-Broadway Play. Caroline Sturts will be presenting a scene from it, and most important of all, it will be at the TLT Coffee House next November. So please come on by and see it. Folks, the next scene, Love Lost on What I Wore.
I hate my purse. Ooh. Better. I absolutely hate it. You know, if you're one of those women who think there's something great about purses, then don't even bother listening, okay? Because I have nothing to say to you. This is for the women who hate their purses, who are bad at purses, who understand that purses are representations of your negligent housekeeping and your inability to manage a difficult and demanding accessory. This is for the women whose purses are a loose swamp of disorganization, of loose Tic Tacs and leaky ballpoint pens and lipsticks without tops and some tobacco in there, even though there has been no smoking going on for at least 10 years. This is for the women, in short, who realize that in some horrible way, your purse is a reflection of you. I realized many years ago I was just no good at purses. So for a long time, I did without one. When I went out at night, I did so with a $20 bill, a lipstick, and a credit card all tucked discreetly in my bra. But there were times when I had to leave the house with more than just the basics. So I bought an overcoat with large pockets. This, I came to realize, turned my coat into a purse, but it was still better than carrying a purse. Anything is better than carrying a purse, because here's what happens when you start carrying a purse. You start pledging yourself to neatness. You start swearing that this time it will be different. You start small, some cosmetics, a couple of keys, your wallet. You put them in the purse, but suddenly your purse has accumulated the debris of a lifetime. You can't find anything in there. There's a half-drunk bottle of water in there from an airplane trip, along with several snacks that you saved just in case you ever found yourself starving and unaccountably craving a piece of cheese that tasted like it was carved from plastic. So what is the solution, you might ask? I tried carrying a very expensive purse, the theory being if I spent a lot of money on it, I would take better care of it and become a completely different person, but that didn't happen. I tried buying one of those cute little Prada backpack purses, but I stuffed so much stuff into it that I looked like a Sherpa. Then I went to Paris with a girlfriend of mine, and she said that her goal for the week was to find a vintage Kelly bag. I had never heard of a vintage Kelly bag. When I said this to her, she looked at me as though I'd spent half the century asleep in a cave somewhere. A Kelly bag, she told me, is a vintage Hermes bag first made popular in the 1950s by Grace Kelly, hence the name. It's a classic. Okay. She knew of this Paris flea market where she could find these, and so we went. And on the way, I asked her, so how much is this purse going to cost? I practically expired when she told me, $6,000. So we went to this flea market, and there was the Kelly bag. I didn't really know what to say about it. It looked like the kind of purse that my mother used to carry. It was tiny, it held nothing, and it hung stiffly over my friend's arm. Now, I may be no great shakes when it comes to purses, but I do know when a purse hangs over your arm as opposed to over your shoulder, it instantly immobilizes half your body, and more importantly, adds 10 years. So my friend ends up getting her Kelly bag. It only cost $5,600, by the way. And then the salesman told us, Madame, you must have this bag waterproofed immediately, for if it is ever caught in the rain, it will instantly lose half its value. Waterproofed? Caught in the rain? It had never crossed my mind that a purse could get caught in the rain. Thank God it was time for lunch. So we went to this really cute little bistro, and the Kelly bag was placed at the center of a table like some kind of shrine to a shopping victory. And then outside, it began to rain. my friend hadn't had the bag waterproofed yet, and she would have to sit inside that bistro all day rather than subject her Kelly bag to one droplet of moisture. It crossed my mind that she might have to sit in there forever. My friend would get old, although her bag would not. And eventually, like some modern version of Lot's wife, my friend would be transfigured into a statue as to what happens to people who care too much about purses. At that point, I gave up. I came back to New York, and I bought myself a purse. Well, it's not a purse, actually. It's a bag. I bought myself a bag, and it is definitely the best bag I have ever owned. It's blue and yellow vinyl, and therefore equally unattractive in all seasons of the year. It costs next to nothing and is virtually indestructible and completely waterproof. Now, it doesn't do for all occasions. I'll admit, there are some times I have to wear a purse, one that I hate, but mostly I go everywhere with my blue and yellow vinyl bag, and everywhere I go, people say to me, "Oh, I love that bag. That is the greatest bag I have ever seen. Where did you get that bag?" It's called the Metro Card bag. You should buy one. Thank you.
Yay.